let's be honest, if I get this video up and edited in a timely manner, it's gonna be like kind of a miracle. I have, as you guys can tell, the OPI Scotland video for you guys today. I have not purchased a full nail polish collection from like any brand in years. I want to say it's been at least like 3 to 4 years. I haven't reviewed anything nail polish new wise on this channel in years. But I saw that OPI's fall collection for 2019 was going to be based off of Scotland. And so that kind of piqued my interest because Scotland is actually my favorite country that I've ever visited. I have been there 3 times. I have loved it every single time. I, like, in an ideal world would totally move there and live there for like the rest of my life, but it's not as easy as I want it to be. So instead I visit a lot and I love all things Scotland. Saying that, like, I was doing Outlander videos forever and then I stopped doing it. But anyway, I saw again that OPI's fall collection for this year was going to be Scotland, and the second that I could get my hands on the whole collection, regardless of the colors in it, I bought it and I thought I would make a video on it, and it came today. So here's my little box of all the polishes. I couldn't tell you if there are supposed to be like Ulta or Sally's exclusives. I couldn't even tell you where to like look that up and figure out where that information would be at this point anymore, because I'm so out of the loop in terms of like nail polish world. But I did get the OPI Scotland collection. I bought it off of beautysales.com. I will link their website down below. This is a website that I have purchased from before a while ago when I was still doing like nail polish collection videos and stuff like that. But she's great. She, meaning Diane, the lady that like runs the site, she's great. I ordered these, I believe I actually ordered these on July 1st. And it is Saturday, July 6th, and they got to me within that time. They were shipped pretty quickly, and the shipping was like, I think it was like 10 bucks, but it was out of Florida, so it got to me pretty quickly here in California. So I have, she packed in a little swatcher. That's nice. Haven't seen one of those in a really long time. And then the colors are in these little OPI boxes. So I'm pretty excited about this. Again, OPI, oh, look, she even like included the sticker label for the little swatchies. OPI is a pretty mainstream, not pretty, it's like the #1 mainstream brand, let's be honest. It's kind of like the MAC of the nail polish world. And it comes out with seasonal collections and mini collections, and you know, typically they're not super exciting if you are not a new nail polish collector. If you're a veteran nail polish collector, they're not, you know, super innovative or outrageous colors, but you know, for the standard salon or new collecting crowd, it's a pretty good starting point or a safe brand to purchase. Pretty much every nail polish salon has OPI in it, just because they are, again, a mass market brand and they have very wearable colors. I say that because in terms of the nail polish collectors out there, this is probably, I haven't actually looked at all the colors. They're still in the boxes and I couldn't be bothered to do more research before this video. But for the nail polish collector, I can almost guarantee that this nail polish collection isn't going to be anything particularly special, because again, OPI caters to the salon crowd, and that crowd is typically people who are not nail polish collectors, and they manicure people who live non-nail polish collecting lives. So yeah, I again know that this collection, being a fall OPI collection, will probably have a couple reds. It'll have some sort of smoky nude. It'll have some sort of jewel tone in it, and it's going to be very wearable to most of the people. In the box, it also came with this little pamphlet which says, "Give it all you Scott." We love a pun. And they have some of their promo photos. So it has tartan on it as expected, and it's like a really long pamphlet. But it has all of the background information on why they made this collection, some cute little promo shots. Here's the first glimpse of the collection. So as I said, some reds, some nudes, some smoky colors, and some jewel tones, because it is an OPI fall collection. Really cute. Kilt, bagpipes, unicorns, and the legendary Loch Ness Monster. Experience all this and more with the Scotland collection by OPI. Okay. And then I guess this pamphlet just shows you all of the different varieties of things that you can get in all the colors for this collection. And then it literally has every single color you can get in any formula from OPI, which is why this is such a large pamphlet. This is going to be a live swatch video. I will have swatch photos in my nail polish Instagram, which I will link down below. Again, it'll be a miracle if I get those photos edited and up on my Instagram in a timely manner, but we'll see how that works out. I'm just gonna actually open this up and read to you guys the colors as I first experience them, and then we will get into swatching. I guess I'll swatch them alphabetically. But anyway, the first color that I pulled out is called Good Girls Gone Plaid. Does this not look like OPI Lincoln Park After Dark to you? It is, from the bottle, a very dark plummy color. It is the slightly tiniest bit lighter than OPI's Lincoln Park After Dark. Again, negligible difference if you are not a nail polish collector. If you are a nail polish collector, then that's going to make a huge difference to you. But very similar to Lincoln Park After Dark, just slightly lighter and a cream finish. The next color is OPI grabs the unicorn by the horn, and it is a sort of dusty blue. I used to do these like really kind of specific color descriptions, but this one, to be honest, is just like a dusty wool tartan kind of blue. Like you would find this in a tartan blanket. There's your weird description for you. The next one is called Nice Set of Pipes, and this one is again that sort of dusty feel in a color, so it does feel a little bit more fall. It has that gray tone. It is a purple. It's a cool toned purple, and it's kind of like a thistle purple color, I guess. This is called A Little Gilt Under the Kilt. And this is a shimmery red, and it's got just slightly a gold micro glitter running through it, or like a slightly chunky gold micro shimmer, whichever you guys prefer to call it. But it is primarily a red shimmer, like a red frosty color. This one is called Rub A-Pub-Pub. Cute. And this is a gray. It's got a slightly warmer tone to it, so it's got like the very slightly green tint to it, but it is a darker gray color. Again, like this color and this color and this color together would make like a really cool like tartan blanket. I'm sure there is an official tartan pattern with those colors in it, which is like actually a thing. There's a tartan registry, and I've been to the place where they do that. Anyway, the next color is called, okay, it's called, clearly you're supposed to pronounce this Edinburgh-er Tatties, but if you pronounce it Edinburgh, it would be Edinburgh-er Tatties, but it's supposed to be Edinburgh-er Tatties. And it is a nude color. This is kind of like the updated version of Tickle My Fancy by OPI. The next one is called Boys Be Thistle-ing at Me. So there's your thistle pun. And this is a shimmery, warmer toned, like plummy purple. This is a little bit more, again, on the frosty side. This one is called You've Got That Glas-glow. And this is a, it's like a really light, slightly lavender toned nude. This one, okay, so for people like me who like a glass fleck and like Zoya Charla, this is the color that's probably going to be the most exciting for you in the collection, because it is just like Zoya Charla. It's a little bit darker, so it's like Zoya's, it's not India, but there was a color that looks Remy, so I think it's Remy. It might not be Remy. But it looks just like that. And this one is called Nessie Plays Hide a Seek. S-E-A-K, Hide a Seek. And this is a dark blue jelly with that like gold glass fleck running through it, so it looks very teal and oceany and just really, really pretty. Fun fact, Loch Ness is not blue. The water is like dark brown black, and it's because of like the minerals that are in it. But anyway, the next color is called Red Heads Ahead, and this is your red cream. It's much, much brighter than I thought that, again, they would include in this collection. I assumed that they would put some sort of like oxblood color in, but this does have a slightly dusty quality to it as well. The next color is called Suzi Needs a Loch-smith, and this is a sort of burnt orange color. It's got a slight browny terracotta color to it. It's like pumpkin pie. It's like pumpkin pie brown orange, you know? In like the planner world, this is a color that I feel like everyone's going to use in like their fall collections and stickers, that sort of orange. And then the last color in this collection is called Things I've Seen in Aber-green. The puns. I've never been to Aberdeen, so kind of fun, but this is, again, it looks very gray in the bottle, but it has that sort of army green tone to it. It is on the darker side. It is muted, so it's not that really, really rich army green. And this is your sort of chic, ugly color for the fall collection. So I will go ahead and swatch all of these now for you guys so you can see what they look like in person. And then I'll give you my thoughts. So I totally said I was going to do this in alphabetical order, but I lied. Like a liar. If anybody watches John Mulaney, they'll know where that's from. I am just going to do these in order of how they came out of the box because it's just easier for me to do it that way. So the first color that I have to show you guys is called Good Girls Gone Plaid, and it is that dark Linkin Park After Dark like color. And as far as I can tell, again, it is a cream. I will be swatching these on my bare nails until I hit either 3 coats or full opacity, as I always do in my swatch videos. So here is the first coat of the polish. It's actually fairly opaque in 1 coat. Not bad. I am going to do 2 coats because I can see a little bit of my visible nail line in person, but you guys can see in the first coat that it does have that really rich purpley plummy color as a base. So that is the first coat. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Good Girls Gone Plaid, and yeah, it's totally opaque in 2 coats. It's got a pretty good formula. It doesn't really pull on anything. I typically like OPI's cream formulas. I think they do a pretty good job unless they're like heinous. But in general, they average out to be pretty good. So yeah, that is what 2 coats of Good Girls Gone Plaid looks like. So here is what it looks like up close and on all 4 nails. Again, I maintain that it looks just like OPI Linkin Park After Dark on the nails. Like, it's a negligible difference for people who don't collect nail polish. If you do collect nail polish, it still looks very, very similar to OPI Linkin Park After Dark. But yeah, it dries down to a really nice glossy finish, and it's a good sort of staple dark color for fall. The next color that I have to show you guys is called OPI Grabs the Unicorn by the Horn, and it is that sort of dusty, could be really cool in a tartan color. And this is also a cream finish from what I can tell, and yeah, not much else to say about it until we put it on. This one is a little bit more sheer, as you can tell by the swatch, than the other one. I feel like this one actually is applying a little bit more like a jelly than a typical cream, because it is so sheer on the first coat, but we'll see how it layers up in that second coat. I'm going to go in now with the second coat. Sorry about the sun coming in through the window, but this is like the only time I have to film this video. So I'm going to go in now with the second coat, and it layers up. It layers up okay. I still wouldn't say it's like 100% cream. I do feel like it's got just a slight bit of like jelly formula in there. It does, I feel like, apply a little bit brighter on the nail than in the bottle. It might just be because of the sunlight in this shot right now. But it does, I feel like it does dry down a little bit brighter than you see in the bottle being that sort of gray tone of a blue. It is very pretty though. So that is the second coat, and it is fully opaque in 2 coats. So again, kind of a surprise. Stick my hand hopefully in the way of the sun. Okay, so this is what it looks like up close. Again, dried down a little bit brighter than I thought it would in person. It does have a slight gray tone to it, but it's still a little bit brighter than in the bottle. I do like the color. It's a little bit different from a fall collection than I would have assumed OPI would put in, but still pretty nonetheless. So that is OPI Grabs the Unicorn by the Horn. The next color that I have for you guys is called Nice Set of Pipes, and this is the sort of dusty mid-tone purple. It reminds me a lot of Funky Dunky by OPI, which was in that like Shrek collection, but just a slightly grayer version. We'll see if this one dries down to be on the brighter side of things or the grayer side of things. Like the other one. This is actually very, very opaque. It's almost opaque in 1 coat. I am going to do 2 coats just because I want to see if I can get like fully, well actually obviously I can get fully opaque in 1 coat because that's what I did with this nail. That was a thicker layer of nail polish, so generally I do thinner layers of nail polish. So I am going to do 2 coats to see how it layers on itself, but very, very pretty nonetheless and really easy to apply. That one was a very good cream formula. Going now with the second coat, I did thinner coats on the other nails and you can see it is actually very, very opaque. So this is definitely one that you could probably get away with doing the 1 thick coat if you are so inclined to. I am just doing the second coat again to see how it layers upon itself, and it is a very easy nail polish to work with. So this is like a really nice formula. It's fully opaque in 2 coats, 2 thin coats, 1 thick coat. So here is what OPI's Nice Set of Pipe looks like up close. This one did dry down on that sort of gray tone of scales of, sorry, gray scale of things, gray toned scale of things. And it is a very, very easy to use formula again, so I highly recommend it. So the next color I have to show you guys is called A Little Gilt Under the Kilt, and this is the shimmery red of the collection. I actually really love this color, like bottle wise. It is so pretty. I'm such a sucker for shimmery reds though. And it applies very sheer. It's got a slightly more jelly formula than kind of your standard shimmer. I think that jelly formula will help it get to be that really pretty sort of candy or like ribbon sort of finish to it as a red. I feel like a lot of red creams are also jellies as well. It might just be because of the pigment and how red pigments sit in nail polish, but yeah, it's got a sheer formula. It's got that slightly like jelly formula for a shimmer. So this one's gonna have to be layered probably a couple of times. I might have to do 3 coats on this one. I'm gonna go in with the second coat and hopefully this builds up pretty well. I don't think it'll get fully opaque in 2 coats just because of the formula. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do 3 coats, but it's still very pretty nonetheless. The positive side to like this type of formula is that as you layer it up, you get that really pretty depth of color. So the shimmer, you know, the shimmer you'll see build up in the next coat as well, but it's just a really, really beautiful, rich, shimmery red. And that's what happens with jellies, especially. Like that's why jelly sandwich nail polishes look really cool, because of that depth. And when it's in this shimmer formula, you get that really nice depth of shimmer in the polish. So I am going to put on a 3rd coat of the polish to get it fully opaque. I think you can kind of get away with like 2 coats, but for me, I don't think I would be satisfied with 2 coats, so I am doing that 3rd coat. And yeah, that looks much better. It definitely has full nail coverage now, and the color just got a slightly bit deeper, or a slight bit deeper, sorry. I haven't filmed a nail polish video in so long that I'm like, I don't even know what to say. But it does get a slight bit deeper, a little bit darker, and just that ever slightly richer and squishier and prettier. And so yeah, I do recommend doing 3 medium to thin coats of this polish. So here's what the polish looks like up close. This is one of those polishes that will look so good with a hollow top coat. But anyway, this is what it looks like. This is actually a really, really nice like Christmas color. I would totally wear a color like this year round personally, but yeah, it's not necessarily one that I would think like fall, but anyway, it's still really pretty. The next polish is called Rub A-Pub-Pub, and this is the dark gray in the collection. It does have a slightly warmer tone to it, like a slight green to it. It's not as green as the other one that I will show you in a little bit. But this is also a cream formula. This one is very reminiscent of the blue that I've already swatched for you guys, in that it's not a really opaque cream to begin with. It's got a slight, just a slight jelliness to it that makes it a little bit less like opaque than the purple, for example. So yeah, that is what the first coat looks like. I'm gonna go in now with the second coat. I do think this is gonna be opaque in 2 coats because it is just a darker polish. If it were a lighter gray, I would definitely do 3, but yeah, since it is a darker color, it did go opaque in 2 coats. So here is what Rub A-Pub looks like up close. In this lighting, it is actually pulling just slightly blue, like it's got a slight like blue slate kind of color to it. In person, it definitely has a little bit more of a warm tone to it. So it's not totally a cool tone gray. It's not totally a warm tone gray. It definitely will kind of change depending on where you are, but I still kind of think that it's pulling more warm in real life. Next color that I have to show you guys is called, it's Edinburgh-er Tatties, or Edinburgh-er Tatties. And this is one of the 2 nude colors. I am actually very excited about this to see how this applies, because in the bottle it looks very creamy and opaque. So let's see how this works. This is a very like silly putty, yeah, super opaque. It's like a silly putty color, which admittedly is not the greatest color on me. Like I kind of hate it, but it is very opaque. Do you guys see that? So that was 1 coat. Pretty cool. 1 coat that was slightly thicker, but we'll do another 1 coat on this nail. And I am actually very satisfied by the fact that that is a 1 coat nude nail polish. So congratulations, OPI. You did something that I didn't think you'd be able to do in a very long time. You made a 1 coat nude nail polish. If you guys do thinner coats, you are going to need 2 coats. I'll show you what a thinner coat looks like on my ring finger. But if you guys like a thicker coat, then you are going to be able to get away with doing 1 coat. So that is a thinner coat, and you guys can still see it's really opaque. So yeah, I'll show you guys what it looks like up close. So in person, this color is a lot more like fleshy. It's got a little bit more of like a beige peach tone to it than on camera. It is pulling a little bit more of like a dusty nude color, but it is, you know, it's very mannequin-like if you are into that. This isn't a color that I'm going to wear very often, to be honest. This is probably one that I am going to destash eventually, but yeah, this is what Edinburgh-er Tatties looks like up close. The next color that I have to show you guys is called Boys Be Thistling at Me, and this is a dark purple shimmer. This is actually very similar to a color from the China Glaze Emerald Fitzgerald collection, and that was a bunch of like jewel toned shimmers like this, and there was a purple in there, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was very similar to that. Or this looks very similar to what I remember that being, and it is a dark plummy shimmery color. It is pretty opaque. It will need 2 coats. It has, again, that slight just jelly feel to it, so it will have a little bit more of a depth in the finish versus like a frostier finish. So yeah, that is what the first coat looks like. I'm going to go in with the second coat of the polish now. This is one of those polishes that will show off every texture in your nail, by the way. A while ago I had gels and I recently removed them, and so my nails are a little bit on the dry side, and there's just a little bit of like, you can see just like where like my nail was buffed a certain way and stuff like that. So be careful. If you do use a polish like this, you will be able to see lots of different textures on your nail. This does get fully opaque in 2 coats. It does deepen the color a little bit when you apply that second coat. It goes from being a like plummy shimmery color to just a slightly darker plum with a little bit more of a gray like tartan-esque feel to it, I guess. So yeah, that is 2 coats. So this is what it looks like up close. Again, you can see all the various textures of my nail right now, but it is very pretty. It's a pretty good fall shimmery color. Again, very similar to that China Glaze color that they put out like 10 years ago. But yeah, really pretty and a good fall staple. The next color that I have to show you guys is called You've Got That Glas-glow, and this is the other nude. This one is a little bit more on the pinky side of things. It's got like a slightly almost like lavender mauve sort of feel to it. Still very much a nude and also very, very opaque. That is one coat. You can see that it is a little bit sheer on the nail. That was a thinner coat. I'll show you guys what a thick coat looks like. I am very impressed by these two very light colors being so opaque. Yeah, that is opaque in one coat. So I am very impressed again by these two nude colors in this collection. I think those are the two like big surprises so far, just in terms of formula. So yeah, that is You've Got That Glas-glow. So here is what You've Got That Glas-glow looks like up close. Again, it has that sort of purpley, almost like lavender sort of pull to it, and I really actually like the way this looks on the nail. So yeah, really, really pretty. The next polish that I have to show you guys is called Nessie Plays Hide a Seek, and this is that really, really pretty tealy jelly glass fleck shimmer, like the one that, you know, if you were to pick one out of this collection, like obviously I and most people would be most excited for it. I mean, unless you're like super into nudes. But anyway, this is what the first coat looks like. This is generally how these types of polishes apply. The first coat is on the sheer side and then they build up really pretty with the shimmer. So yeah, this one definitely has a really strong like cerulean blue base, and then that gold shimmer adds in as you build up, and it makes it look that sort of dark, sparkly teal, shimmery sea color. So that is what the first coat looks like. I'm going to go in now with the second coat, and this one, as I assume, will get a little bit deeper in the second coat and then build that shimmer up. It won't be fully opaque, so I will do a third coat. So yeah, that's what the second coat looks like. Again, it's very similar to many other colors that OPI has released that are like this, or Zoya has released, or China Glaze has released that have this sort of finish and formula. It does take a couple of coats, but it does add that depth when you layer it up because it has that sort of jelly base to it and the shimmer kind of sparkles through those layers. So that is 2 coats. So I'm going to go in now with the third coat, and this will get the color as opaque as it probably will get. This adds just a little bit more depth, a little bit more richness to the color, and it does make it the slightly a little bit, the slightest bit darker. The shimmer does come out much more strongly because it does get a little bit darker, and that gold shimmer pops against the color a little bit better. So that is 3 coats. So here is what it looks like up close. Again, really, really pretty. This is definitely a color that I have multiple nail polishes that are similar to it because I personally love this type of color. And I also think this would look really, really good with like a hollow scattered taco on top, top coat on top. Super, super side note. Simply Nailogical released her like nail polish line today, and I bought all of them, so I'll have a video for you guys on that one too. But yeah, this one would look amazing with a hollow top coat on top. The next color that I have to show you is the red cream, and it is called Red Heads Ahead. And this is a, what looks like is gonna be a red cream and not totally a jelly. Color-wise, it is very similar to some previous OPI colors like Comet Loves Cupid, and there was one about Switzerland. Something barren hot. Anyway, this is what the first coat looks like. It's actually fairly opaque. It's not super sheer like some red, like flat red colors can be. I hesitate to say red creams because a lot of the time red creams are actually like slightly jelly-ish. This is not fully a jelly. This is also not fully a cream either. It does have that just slight jelly tint to it, or jelly feel to it, so that it has like a little bit of a squishy feel, but it is pretty opaque, as you guys can see. I'm going to go in now with the second color, or the second coat of this color, and this is probably going to be opaque in 2 coats. It's, you know, it's kind of a standard red cream finish. It's not super exciting, but it is a very pretty color. Again, pretty easy to wear year round because it isn't that oxblood sort of feel of a red. It is your more basic red cream. So this is something that I could see people using year round, which makes it a little bit more versatile in OPI's line. When you do that second coat, it does get a little bit darker and a little bit dusty, so not as bright, so it turns to be more of that color that you see in the bottle. So here's what it looks like up close. It's translating again on camera to be a little bit brighter than it is in real life. In real life, it has deepened just a little bit as it's dried down and has that, again, slightly dusty quality to it, but it is a very pretty red. And yeah, I mean, it's not super unique, you know, but it is, again, it's a salon brand, so I'm not surprised that they have some sort of red cream in this collection. The next color is called Suzi Needs a Loch-smith. I know I'm not saying that correctly. Loch, it's like there's a little bit more of an accent that goes into it, but I do not have a Scottish accent. But anyway, this is that sort of pumpkin pie orange. Or like in the planner world, this is going to be like the orange, I feel like, of, you know, a lot of fall collections. Anyway, if you're not a planner person, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's like a really appropriate fall orange. It is a cream. Sorry, I'm trying to get like a piece of lint off my nail. And it's actually very, very opaque. Again, looks a little bit brighter on the nail than in the bottle. I have a feeling that this one will probably dry down a little bit darker, a little bit dustier, but yeah, pretty good formula. I will do 2 coats of this just because I did 2 thin coats and it is a little bit sheer, but if you did a thicker coat, you might be able to get away with just 1 coat. It kind of reminds me of the OPI Holland collection, which was called, I think, or the color called Rolling in the Hague. I think that's what it was called, but it's like the dustier version of that. I'm gonna go in now with the second coat, and this will be fully opaque in 2 coats for sure. The second coat does add just a little bit of a deeper tone to the color. It kind of adds that slightly brown tone to the orange, so it's a little bit more of a fall orange than like a spring orange. But yeah, that is what 2 coats looks like. It layered really, really easily, so that was another nice sort of formula, kind of dream formula for creams in this collection. So here's what the polish looks like up close. You guys can see that it has that, again, sort of pumpkin pie quality as it has dried down. It's a little bit more dusty, a little bit more fall appropriate. So yeah, really pretty color. I'm typically not one to like oranges on me, but I think because this is a little bit of a deeper, richer orange, I actually kind of like it. The last polish in this collection is called Things I've Seen in Aber-green. And this is a dark gray toned army green. It definitely looks more army green now than it did when I was first showing you guys this color, but it's very much like a dark gray more than an army green in my opinion. It is on the darker side of things. This one has a little bit more of a jelly formula, so it is sheer on the first coat, but it will build up pretty easy. I think it's got pretty decent coverage in the first coat. So that is what coat 1 looks like. I'm going to go in with the second coat, and I'm fairly positive again that this will be opaque in 2 coats because it is a darker color. Yeah, it's totally more of an army green than a gray. But initially it looked like a dark gray with a green tint to it. But yeah, this is a really pretty color. This is definitely a color that I have seen in and around Scotland in terms of just it's a very earthy, sort of natural type of color. This is a color that I have seen in tartans as well as in just like the various environments of Scotland. I've been in the summer and the springtime, and so yeah, I really actually like this color. And that is what it looks like in 2 coats. So here's what it looks like up close. Really, really pretty color. I actually really love this. I love that it is a deeper army green than sort of a brighter army green, if you guys know what I'm saying. So yeah, I really like this. This is what it looks like up close, and that is Things I've Seen in Aber-green. Okay, so that is all the polishes swatched. Like I literally just finished swatching for you guys. In terms of the collection as a whole, it makes a lot of sense to me as a collection and how OPI has put it together. I do see a lot of like the Scotland theme running through it, just again from personally being there so many times and some, you know, from imagery of their promo and things like that. Like I do see the theme of Scotland running through it. I do think there are some surprise colors and formulas. I think the orange is a surprise. I didn't think I'd like this one so much, and I didn't think that this is a color that they would put in a fall collection. And in the Scotland theme, it's, you know, it's a pretty color. It definitely pops out amongst the colors that are in this collection. There's a lot of purples and blues and sort of that gray toned section of, you know, fall colors, which is appropriate for just kind of your standard fall collection. I understand why they did that. Personally, my favorite formulas from this were the two nude colors, because I didn't think that they'd be able to do such excellent light nude colors formula wise. So I actually really like those. Color wise, like this one, I mean, I'm always gonna love a color like this, like a shimmery teal color. I'm always gonna love those. I do actually really like the green. The things I've seen in Aber-green, which is again the last one that I swatched, is what I have on my 4 fingers right now. And I do really like the shimmery red. And again, I think as a collection, it's kind of a solid collection. There's a lot more blues in there than OPI would have done like 5-6 years ago for a fall collection. You know, they have their standard colors, the reds, the dark purple, and even the army green now is kind of a standard color, but I do like that they have like a shimmery purple, a mid-toned cream purple, a mid-tone blue, and like a darker, you know, shimmery teal in this fall collection. And again, I do see sort of the theme of Scotland running through these colors in various things that I have just personally experienced being there multiple times. So yeah, as a collection, I think it's pretty cool. I will again link down below beautysales.com, which is a website that I purchased from. I'll also link my vacation video from when I went to Scotland with Kate, as well as when I went to Scotland with my mom. Those are honestly like personal vacation videos that I've just put on this channel, but you guys can see some Scotland footage in there if you are so curious to see. They are long videos, so, you know, skip around to the Scotland bits, I guess. But yeah, that is the OPI Scotland collection. If you guys like this video, if you could give it a thumbs up, that'll totally make my day. If you guys are excited for this collection, let me know what colors you're excited to see in person, or if you are someone that has a dupe or a suggestion for a dupe in this video, go ahead and leave that in the comments down below to help everyone else out as well. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys like this video, and I will hopefully see you guys soon. Again, I did purchase the Simply Nailogical Hollow Taco nail polish sets. I'll also show you guys those when they come, because I'm really excited for those. Hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you guys soon.